the power of indigenous wisdom in environmental conservation. Indigenous people have long inhabited and cared for the land, drawing upon centuries of traditional ecological knowledge to sustainably manage natural resources. In this video, we will talk about how indigenous knowledge helps to save plants and animals and teaches us how to live in a way that doesn't hurt the earth. For generations, indigenous communities around the world have lived in harmony with nature, developing intricate systems of knowledge and practices to sustainably manage their surroundings. This traditional ecological knowledge is passed down orally from one generation to the next, rooted in a deep understanding of local ecosystems, plants, animals, and weather patterns. Indigenous people recognize the interconnectedness of all living beings and the importance of maintaining balance and harmony in the natural world. Indigenous stewardship has played a vital role in preserving biodiversity in diverse ecosystems, from rainforests to Arctic tundras. By employing sustainable land management techniques such as rotational farming, agroforestry, and controlled burns, indigenous communities have maintained the health and resilience of ecosystems for centuries. Their practices ensure the protection of endangered species and the preservation of critical habitats. Central to indigenous conservation efforts in traditional ecological knowledge, a holistic understanding of the environment based on centuries of observation and adaptation. TEK encompasses a wide range of practices including medical plant use, sustainable hunting and fishing techniques, and the conservation of sacred sites. The knowledge is not only practical but also deeply spiritual, reflecting indigenous worldviews that honor the interconnectedness of all forms. Despite their invaluable contribution to environmental conservation, indigenous communities face numerous challenges and threats to their traditional ways of life. Encroachment on ancestral lands, resource extraction, and environmental degradation pose significant threats to indigenous territories and livelihood. Additionally, systematic issues such as marginalization, discrimination, and lack of recognition of indigenous rights further worsen these challenges. But despite them, indigenous people contribute to lead conservation efforts in their territories, advocating for the protection of land, water, and biodiversity. Indigenous-led conservation initiatives prioritize community-based approaches that empower local communities to manage and protect natural resources. These efforts often involve collaboration with governments, NGOs, and other shareholders to ensure preservation of cultural heritage. The wisdom of indigenous people offers valuable lessons of promoting sustainable living practices at large scale. By embracing principles of respect for nature, reciprocity, and intergenerational stewardship, we can develop more holistic approaches to environmental conservation. Incorporating indigenous knowledge systems into mainstream environmental policies and practices can enhance the effectiveness and sustainability of conservation efforts while fostering greater cultural diversity. Indigenous wisdom holds immense power in guiding environmental conservation. Upholding indigenous rights and integrating their perspectives into environmental policies are essential steps towards achieving a more just and sustainable world. By recognizing and respecting the traditional ecological knowledge of indigenous people, we can learn valuable lessons about living in harmony with nature and preserving biodiversity for future generations.